Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay, because now it's already 10:40 a.m. Let's begin our class first. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning for all the participants. Welcome to guest lecture 2022. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Faira Firdausi from Information System Study Program of University Airlangga. Now I'm as your Master of Ceremony in this class today. Before we start, I want to inform you about the rundown of this class first. This class will be continued by our special speaker. She is Associate Professor Dr. Norjihan Binti Abdul Ghani from Malaya University. She will bring up the topic about Cybersecurity Management in Enterprise System. After the topics, there will be a Q&A session for all question to our speaker about the topic. After that, there will be a photo shoot together with the speaker. So prepare your best smile. At the end of the class, there will be a presence and feedback form for all the participants. Must fill the form to get the e-certificate that will be sent to your email. Now, before we going into the class, I will introduce our speaker first through the CV. Maybe operators can be helped to share screen the CV first. I'm sorry, we can take a minute. So now participant can look on the screen, on the CV on the screen. Mrs. Norjihan is currently an associate professor in Department of Information Systems and became a senior lecturer in 2015. Her PhD in Computer Science from University Technology Malaysia in 2013 and her Master in Information Technology in 2000 from University Kebangsaan Malaysia. And she obtained her bachelor degree in Information Technology from University Utara Malaysia in 2000. And currently, she is the head of Department for Information System. The curriculum, the development when she was appointed as program coordinator for Master of Information Technology Management and was involved in many program development at the faculty level. Maybe that's all I can tell to introduce our speaker. Now let's begin this class. We continue to our topic with our special speaker, Dr. Norjihan. Can you open your mic?
Okay, I have opened my mic.
Okay. Yes, because Dr. Norjihan is ready for the lecture, that the platform and the microphone is yours.
Okay, so can I share my screen now? Okay.
Yes, we can see, Doctor.
Okay. Can everybody see the screen? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so Assalamualaikum and good morning to all. Okay, so I was informed that today we have some of you are maybe lecturers, there associate professors, and then some of you are the students from information systems departments. Okay, so I'm happy to be here, okay, to share some of my experience and to share a little bit my knowledge that I have regarding the cybersecurity. Okay, so thank you for your invitation to have me as your guest lecturer for today, okay? Okay, so a little bit information about me. So, but this was introduced by Fahira just now. So I have been in for almost 22 years since 2000. Okay, so I started my career as a lecturer and then was appointed as a senior lecturer. And then recently in April 2022, I was appointed as an associate professor. Okay, and then as mentioned by Fahira just now, my research interest is more on information security. I did, and I'm still doing a research in these areas, information security, whereby my focus more on data privacy, data protections. Okay, how should you protect your own data? Because nowadays we are moving forward to have to use information systems online. Okay, we have smart-based systems. Okay, we have an applications whereby we have to share as many data as we have to. Okay, and then based on that, I also have been awarded in several fundings. Okay, national, okay, private, and also international grants in that domain. Okay, and then part of my task as an academician, okay, as you know, is one of the top universities in the Malaysia. So we have to publish not only in conferences, but we have to publish in ISI rank index journals. Okay, so that's our KPI. Okay, and then a part of that, we also involved as an academic program assessors, whereby we have to assess other universities program. Okay. Okay, so a little bit about our faculty of Computer Science and Information Technology, and overall As for your information, we are the first, based on ranking by subject, we are the first, okay, in Malaysia for computer science, okay, and then 76 in the world by subject. So this is mainly for computer science. It is based on the subject itself. Okay. Okay, so for today, I would like to share my experience and then some of a little bit the knowledge that I have in the area of cybersecurity, which the topic was given by me, cybersecurity management, is cybersecurity management in enterprise systems. Okay, and then these are the agendas that I will go through today: enterprise systems versus smart enterprise systems. What is enterprise cybersecurity? Some issues related to securities in enterprise. Okay, and then data breach cases. So that's the most, and data breach cases are among the security issues that happen today without we know it. Okay, so that's one of the major issues. Okay, and then how to implement cybersecurity programs, and then we have Q&A sessions. Okay, after I conclude my presentation. Okay, so before we go in depth, okay, I would like to explain, to discuss the differences between enterprise systems and smart enterprise systems. Okay, I'm sure that you have learned, okay, you know what is enterprise system. Okay, it is a large scale software packages, okay, such as we have CRM, we have SCM, supply chain management, okay, CRM, it is for customer relationship management, and then we also have ERP, okay, enterprise resource planning. So these are the three basic software packages that should be included in an enterprise system. Okay, then when we talk about enterprise systems, It is consists of large-scale software packages that are able to. Well, I need to bring this. Okay, that are able to track and control all of the complex operations of a business. So it is not only for a business, but it is also for an organization. Okay, so even though it is an enterprise, but it is also cover an organization. Okay, not only for a business. Okay, so these systems usually will be used as a central command hub to help the companies, to help the organizations to automate their daily operations and make or provide reporting so that they can so that the process of decision making is more easier for them. Okay, so that's the enterprise system. Okay, so how about smart enterprise systems? Okay, what are the differences between these two? Okay, so smart enterprise systems, it is it has all the capabilities. It has all the capabilities of enterprise system, but in addition, it leverages the AI, artificial intelligence, into the enterprise systems. Okay, so how do they leverage the use of AI? It is whereby, for example, they utilize the predictions. Okay, they utilize the predicting the trends. Okay, so the leveraging the AI components into the enterprise system will allow employees to focus more on valuable work through things such as decision augmentations. Okay, so for enterprise system, based on the report provided by the system, they will decide. Okay, they will make a decision. Okay, but then for smart enterprise system, the system itself, okay, utilizing the AI components, the system will automate the decision. Okay, the system will provide you with a decision. So it is the basic comparison between enterprise systems and smart enterprises systems. So in terms of the process of decision making. Okay, so if we look at this, okay, so these are the basic views of enterprise system, so where basically we have human resource modules, okay, ERP modules, okay, sales, supply chain management, okay, financial systems, okay, and all any other modules. Okay, so these are the basic, these systems, they do their basic functions. Okay, so they just doing their own modules. Okay, and then at the end, all the systems or modules will provide a report. Okay, so these are the possible softwares or packages that develop or they have a enterprise applications. Okay, so what are the differences between enterprise system with smart enterprise system? Okay, so these are basically the smart enterprise systems whereby we have a marketing automation here. Okay, so based on the data that we obtain from purchase system, for example, so based on that, okay, this module will automate a marketing process. Okay, so based on the business intelligence, they will provide or they will automate the marketing process. Okay, based on the customer relationship management module that we have here, the system will do the marketing automation. Okay, so all the processes included here will be done automatically by using the AI techniques, by using the AI components. Okay, so that's the differences between enterprise system and smart enterprise system. Okay. Okay, so basically for enterprise system, it is what we refer as a conventional systems. Okay, so this is a conventional system. whereby smart enterprise system, it is more on the utilizations of AI techniques. Okay, AI, it can be the utilizations of IoT, Internet of Things, okay, where we now we are moving forward to smart-based systems. Okay, we have smart transportations. Okay, we have smart cities. We have smart learning. So this is where the IoT has been applied. Okay. Okay. So next. Okay. So what does a smart enterprise systems look like? Okay. So what are the differences between smart enterprise system with the old enterprise system? Okay. So if you look at here, the circle that we have in the middle, it is referring to the basic processes for enterprise systems. Okay, so it is similar with this. Okay, but then what we have added with smart enterprise system, it is in terms of systems integration. So there is a system integration between all these processes. Okay, and then we also utilize the use of artificial intelligence. Okay, and then in terms of the automations of the workflow processes. Okay, so workflow processes, it is involve all these processes. Okay, so all these three, it comes under integration layer. Okay, we have to integrate all these modules. Okay, because at the end, we want to automate the processes. Okay, we want to integrate the system. So there must be an integration layers. Okay. Okay, so the integration layer leverage the latest technology such as the use of AI, okay, chatbots, for example, and then we can use IoT and virtual reality or augmented reality, and we have to integrate all these things at the back into this ERP layer. Okay, so we have to utilize and we have to integrate all these things into this enterprise processes. Okay. Okay, then to make it this happens, okay, to make it this integration happens, of course, we need a support from infrastructure. Okay. Okay, so when we are moving towards IoT, okay, we cannot run ourselves from cloud infrastructure. Okay, so there is no more keep your data inside your PCs. Okay, so there is no more keep your data or your profile in a file-based system. So we store data in a cloud. Okay, and then the system, it is in terms of the mobility. So we should be able to access the data via mobile applications. Okay, and then of course when we disclose our data via cloud, of course, the security issues is the main aspects that we need to consider. Okay, so the outer layer, it is for infrastructure layer, whereby instead of we have to think about all these three components under integration layer, but of course we need to pay attention to the outer layer, which is infrastructure layer. Okay, so infrastructure layer, it is all about cloud hosting, okay, the industry standards, securities, and inclusion and mobility. Okay, so the reason why I discuss this is I want you to understand why do we need this information security? Why do we need to think about cybersecurity in enterprise systems? Because now we are not only using enterprise system, but we are moving forward ourselves. The organizations, the businesses, they are moving themselves towards smart enterprise system. But then when we decided to move towards smart enterprise system, we have to consider, we have to think about all these things first. Okay, if we able to move forward web-based system to mobile-based applications, okay, and then our companies are capable to provide the cloud-based infrastructure, but we also need to consider the securities. Because when we have decided to move forward to smart-based system, meaning that you are able, okay, you want to share your data, okay, you want to disclose more about your customers' data, you want to share more about your company's data. Okay, so this is where cybersecurity take or plays an important roles. Okay. Okay, so this slide explain the needs of securities for smart enterprise system. Okay, then. Okay, before we go further, okay, so I would like to take attention. Okay, these are the three requirements. Okay, these are the three important requirements. Okay, when we talk about cybersecurity. Okay, so this is also known as CIA triad. Okay, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so these three triad, okay, this CIA triad, it is also known as the backbone of cyber security. So when we mention it is as a backbone, okay, so these are the major reason. Okay, so these are the reason. Okay, why do we want to talk about cybersecurity? Okay, so these are the reasons why cybersecurity is important. Okay, because it is the backbone. Okay, to ensure the securities of the system, okay, to ensure the securities of the data that you own in your companies, in your organizations. Okay, so these are the reason because we want to achieve these three requirements. Okay. Okay, so these three CIA triads, okay, it is crucial for cybersecurity because it offers a critical security functionalities. Okay, so it is offers the main thing required when we talk about cybersecurity. Okay, and then it is also leads to preventing any enforcement problems. Okay, and then, of course, we want to maintain continuity of the businesses offered by organizations, offered by the companies. Okay, because if we lack any one of these, for example, it is difficult for you to maintain the trust that given by your customers, okay, that given by your users towards your companies, okay, towards your business. So because of that, it is difficult for you to maintain your continuity of business, okay, because there is no more trust from your company, your customers towards your business. Okay. Okay, then of course, okay, based on this, it will avoid your company's reputational damages. Okay, it is reflect. Okay, all these things are reflect each others. Okay. Okay, so if you look at here, okay, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so which one is the most important? Is it confidentiality? Is it integrity or is it availability? So anyone can share. Which one is the best? Which one is the most important? Is it confidentiality, integrity, or availability? Or you think that we need all these three? Okay, so if you look at here, okay, we need all these three. Okay, there must be a balance, okay, between confidentiality, integrity, and availability.
I'm sorry, Doctor. It seems like Dr.
Okay.
Norjihan is...
Okay, sorry.
Yes.
Give me 1 minute.
Oh, okay, Doctor.
I'm sorry, I got a call from the dean. Okay. Actually, yesterday we have audit for our program. So, yeah, today is the second day. So there are few things that we need to prepare the documents for the audit. Okay, so let's continue. Okay, so we have confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, so if we look at this diagram, if we only have confidentiality and integrity alone, so we are at this point. Okay, but if we only concentrate on confidentiality and availability, so it is at this point. But when we talk about integrity and availability, we are at this point. Okay, so which one is the most important? Okay, do we need only confidentiality, or we only need to focus on integrity or availability, or any combinations of these three? Okay, so the answer is we must have a balance. Okay, we must have a balance between confidentiality, integrity, and availability. We cannot only depend on confidentiality. We cannot only depend on integrity, or we cannot only depend to availability. So there must be a balance. We must successfully satisfy all these three components. Okay. Okay. So what are the differences between confidentiality? Okay, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Okay, confidentiality, it is when we want to keep data secure. We want to ensure the security of the data. Okay, how can we ensure the security of the data? It is by the ability not to disclose information to unauthorized person. Okay, not to disclose the data to unauthorized programs or also processes. Okay, let's say we have a student's data. Okay, of course, in your universities, okay, we keep students' data. We keep students' informations. Okay, parents' informations. Okay, but confidentiality, it is something that we need to think about. Okay, something related to we want to keep your data secure from any unauthorized access. Okay, so meaning that students' data cannot be accessed by other students. Okay, students' data cannot be accessed by any lecturers unless if you are authorized to access the data. Okay, so how can we control this? By providing an access controls. Okay, so we can do this by providing an access over the protected information. Okay, so let's say we have a student's data. Okay, lecturer A, we want to access the student's data, but only certain data that we can access, even though you can access your student's data. For example, okay, we can access student's name, okay, metric number, and what else? Okay, we can access students' results. Okay, but we cannot access your address, for example. Okay, we cannot access other courses results. Okay, we only can view your own courses, okay, that you teach the students. Okay, so that's for confidentiality. Okay, integrity, it is something related to keeping the data clean. Okay, it is in terms of the consistency of data, networks, and system. It must have a consistency between these three: data, networks, and systems. Okay, it is also includes a mitigation and proactive measures to restrict unapproved changes, while also having the ability to recover data that has been lost or compromised. Okay, integrity, it is the simple things about integrity is the data shouldn't be modified or shouldn't be altered by unauthorized person. Okay, so that's why it is related to the consistency of the data. it shouldn't be modified by unauthorized person. Okay, so that's why integrity, it is keeping data clean. Okay. Okay, then the third one is availability. Okay. Availability, it is something related to keeping data accessible. So in a simple words, whenever we want to access the data, it is available. Okay. Whenever we want to access the system, it is accessible. Okay. Let's say, for example, we want to purchase a flight ticket. Okay, let's say in Malaysia, we are familiar with AirAsia. Okay, so we go to airasia.com, but suddenly we got the page that the page cannot be found. Okay, so that's not fulfill the availability requirements. Okay, because the system is not able to be accessed whenever we want to access the system. Okay. Okay, so availability, it is refers to authorized users who can access to the system, okay, networks, and also the data needed to perform their daily tasks. Okay. Okay, it is resolving hardware and also software conflicts. Okay, so basically, the availability, it is compromised by the failure of the systems, okay, due to hardware and software failure. Okay, and then sometimes, we have a regular maintenance, okay, whereby this regular maintenance, it is crucial, it is needed for an organization. Okay, but then this regular maintenance, okay, it is sometimes will affect the operations of the business. Okay. Okay, then, okay, so how does all these three requirements relate to enterprise systems? How does it relate? Okay, so then we move to this slide. Okay, so what is enterprise cybersecurity? Okay, you have learned. Okay, I have explained about enterprise systems. Okay, smart enterprise system, the crucial needs of cybersecurity in smart enterprise system. Okay, so but then, okay, what is enterprise cybersecurity? Okay, enterprise cybersecurity, it is more complex, okay, compared to the previous. Okay, enterprise cybersecurity, it is more complex. That it needed whereby when we are moving forward smart based systems, okay, smart enterprise system, we have to extend, okay, the requirements, okay, the requirements of the smart base. Okay, so it should also consider the not only the age old premise of cybersecurity, but at the same time it is also extend to all levels of modern day business computing. So this is meaning that we are not only need to concentrate on cybersecurity, but we also need to we also need to focus more on the smart based systems. Okay. Okay, the old methods of cybersecurity were conceived to protect data on the local front. Okay, so the basic things in the previous cybersecurity is mainly about data protection. Okay, but then enterprise cybersecurity strategies are designed to safeguard data as the data is traveled between one system to another system. Okay, remember that just now I mentioned about the 3 layers of a smart enterprise system, whereby we have a cloud. Okay, so in this smart enterprise system, the data is traveled from one system to another system. Okay, the data is being used from one user to another users. And then not only that, in a certain applications, in a certain systems, they utilize your data to produce a new data about yourself. Okay, so this is where we have to carefully safeguard your data, as the data is traveled from one system to another system via wireless devices. Okay, and then it is being stored in a cloud servers. Okay. Okay, so a part of that, it is also involved protecting your company's on-premise and cloud-based infrastructures. Okay, so not only your data, okay, but also your infrastructure itself. Okay, so if your data is being hacked by hackers, for example, so it shows that your infrastructure is not good enough. Okay, so any software, any hardware that's connected, okay, to your network via IoT should be secure. Okay, the system, okay, the data, and then the hardware, the softwares, and everything that's being connected via IoT should be secure. Because when we are moving forward cloud-based infrastructure, we should be able to get your data. Okay, we should be able to access the system, okay, easily. Okay, so this is the reason why cybersecurity is more needed. Okay. Okay. Okay, so why is enterprise cybersecurity is important? Why is it important? Okay. Do you think that it is important? Because sometimes we don't really understand how valuable your data. Okay, you don't understand, okay, that your data is so important. Okay, you have to keep your data secure. We have to keep our data PNC. Okay, I'm sure that we are, okay, most of our students are in the Z generations, right? Okay, you are eagerly share your data, your information via social media. Okay, you share your data via Facebook, Instagrams, and so on. Okay. Okay, so sometimes we just want to share our data. Okay, we want to share. It is not our data. Okay, we want to share our happiness. Okay, so I'm happy today because our family are going for vacations. Okay, we are going to Paris tomorrow, for example. Okay, without your concerns, okay, actually you are telling the world that you are going to Paris. So meaning that you share your data. Okay, so meaning that you are not at your home. Okay, so what are the consequences? You are opening more, maybe someone will rob your house, for example. Okay, so this is where, okay, you don't know how exactly how valuable your data, but hackers, okay, cyber criminals, they do understand your data is so important. Okay, your data is giving them the most valuable. Okay, that's why, okay, everything from ransomware to phishing is on the rise. Okay, so that's why there are lots of cases whereby these hackers, they hack systems. Okay, they obtain the data and then they sell your data to third party. Okay, so okay, so we can in Malaysia, okay, so to be honest, in Malaysia, there are certain, especially for telecommunication company, sometimes they sell your data. Okay, let's say for example, okay, I have a daughter. Okay, my daughter just passed her SPM. So SPM, it is high school exams, the high school importance exam. Okay, without applying any universities, but suddenly we receive a lot of offers from these universities, offers a place for her to start her degree, for example. Okay, I ask you, okay, one question. Okay, where did they get your daughter's information, your data? Okay, how can they know your daughter is just finished their exams? In fact, sometimes they know your results. Okay, your SPM's results. Okay, where did they get all these kinds of information? There must be someone sell your data. Okay, so if I'm not mistaken, it depends on the person who sell your data. But maybe RM1 for one data. Okay, so just imagine if we have 1,000 data, we have 1 million data. Okay. Okay, so due to cybersecurity vulnerabilities, many businesses have been targeted by hackers or been subject to data breaches. Okay, so data breaches, it is one of the common issues related to cybersecurity. Okay, it has bad implications. Okay, about cybersecurity. Okay, so if you look at here, it shows, okay, so this statistic shows the average total cost of a data breach. It is measured in US millions. Okay, if you look at here, from 2019 to 2020, it is decreased from 3.92 million to 3.86 million, but suddenly it is increased to 4.24 million. Okay, so if we look at the statistics, the increasing, it is almost 1 million. If we look at the trend 2020 to 2021, we have a COVID pandemic. We are in a COVID pandemic whereby most of the applications, most of the businesses, most of the organizations, they were moving forward to online based. Okay. Then when we are moving forward to online platform, meaning that we are disclosing our informations more. Okay, so these are one of the reasons why the reason of this increasing. Okay. Okay, so the so-called mega breaches. Okay, so this is what we refer to data breaches. The so-called mega breaches impacting top enterprise firms, responsible for the exposure of between 50 million and 65 million records. Okay, so this shows there are millions of records. Okay, now only come with a higher price tag, reaching an average of 401 million to resolve. So they sell about 50 to 65 million records of the data. Okay, then the most common attack vectors for enterprises experiencing of a data breach was compromised credentials. Okay, either taken from data dumps posted online. Okay, so basically, this data breach, it happens from the data that we posted online. Okay, or it is sold by someone, or it is obtained from brute force attack. Okay, so these are the possible ways how data breaches might occur. Okay, and then, okay, once a network was infiltrated, okay, customer PII, including names and email addresses, was stolen in close to half of the cases. Okay, so one individual, okay, one person, we have our personal information, okay, name, okay, address, okay, name, address, your what else? Okay, your parents' name, it is considered as your personal information. Okay, but personally identifiable information, it comes from your personal information, but it can be used to identify your other information, okay, such as your phone number. Okay, if I know your phone number, then I can, okay, I know, so this phone number belongs to whom. So this is what we refer to PII. Any personal information that can be used to identify a person. Okay, for Malaysian, we have my card. Okay, so I give you a scenario as you are students. You have a matric card, right? Okay, so if I know your metric card, I can know, okay, so what's the student's name? Okay, what program you are having now? Okay, what is your parents' details? Okay, so based on your metric number, okay, so that's metric number, it is considered as your PII. Okay, your name, it is considered as your personal information because sometimes we can have two person with one similar name. Okay, so names cannot be considered as your PII. Okay, so that's the differences between PII and personal information. Okay. Okay, so you have learned about enterprise system, the securities of the cybersecurities of enterprise system, and some overview of the cases of data breaches. Okay, now, okay, let's think these scenarios. Okay, so for enterprise system, as I mentioned earlier, we have three main modules, okay, CRM, SCM, and ERP. Okay, if we look at with CRM, okay, with CRM functions, okay, a company learns more about its customers' needs and buying behavior and combines these information with a market information to enhance the quality of this company's marketing plans and sales forecast. Okay, so this CRM, we keep your data, we keep customers' records. Okay, so customers A, what did he purchase from your companies, okay, from your business? Okay, today, okay, and then we also have a record if you purchase, if you did some purchase previously. Okay, then based on this data, we should be able to produce your buying behavior data. We combine all these informations, okay, and then together with the market information, we able to generate or to produce your buying behavior. Okay, so this should be integrated with other systems. Okay, but then now, okay, let's think. If one companies have your data, okay, then we produce your data from all these data that we have. What happens if this data is being hacked by someone else? Okay, a hacker hack to your systems and they get all your customers' data. What happens? How about trust, about your customers' trust towards your data? Okay, how about your reputations? Okay, and then how should you obtain customers' trust? Okay, because your database, your customers' database is being hacked by hackers. Okay. Okay, so this is for CRM, okay, customer relationship management, whereby we have we keep data about our customers' record. Okay, but okay, so this is for ERP. Okay, ERP, it is consists of purchasing, okay, financial records, and then of course it is also involve human resources. Okay, okay, so what happens, okay, if this ERP, if your ERP is being hacked by someone else, okay, a person, okay, attack your systems, okay, and then he or she, okay, this hacker managed to get your employees database. Okay, they might get your employees and then they might sell your employees, okay, and then sometimes they will use the data for another purposes. Okay, this human resource database consists of your employee salaries. Okay, so this employees every month her monthly salary is about 10K. I will promote to these employees about this and this. Okay, so these are the possible consequences, okay, when your database being hacked by outsiders. Okay, but it is not only outsiders, but also from insiders itself. Okay, we will look at that later. Okay, so this is for ERP. Okay. Okay, then, okay, so this is for supply chain management. Okay, so I only focus on these three modules. Okay, three main modules that exist in enterprise system. Okay, so the third one, it is for supply chain management, where it is consists of a collection of people, okay, tasks, okay, equipment, okay, data and other resources required to produce or move products from one vendor, okay, to our final product, which is customers. Okay, we send it is involve customers, where the moving of the products from raw materials, okay, to a customer, which is end product. It is what we refer to supply chain activities. Okay, from raw materials, okay, suppliers, it is also involve suppliers, manufacturing, okay, distributions, okay, retail locations. At the end, we send to a customer. Okay, in these scenarios, okay, what happens if your suppliers' information, okay, you keep your suppliers' records in your database, okay, and then you have a collections of customers, you also keep this in your database, okay, and then, okay, what happens if your competitors, okay, hack your system and get your customers' data and get your suppliers' data? Okay, so that's another reason why cybersecurity is needed in enterprise systems. Okay. Okay, so we have learned, okay, we have go through three scenarios. How does cybersecurity reflect to enterprise systems? Okay, so then, okay, we move to security issues that facing by enterprises. Okay, the first one, ineffective control of data breach risk. So actually, they have to consider, they have to prepare a risk management plan. They must have a risk management plan. What should they do if there is any data breach cases? Okay. And then the second issue, it is related to content security violations, which seriously affect business continuity. And then also the third one, it is the security issues faced by them is when it comes to internal staff. Okay, actually sometimes we think that we need to keep the data from being hacked from outsiders, but actually there are most of the hacking processes, most of the database cases was happened due to insider itself, internal staff. Okay, so internal staff is actually a person who constitute the greatest threat to data security. Okay. Okay, then the third issue is increasingly serious threats from high-risk vulnerabilities. Okay, and then the last one is increasingly serious threat from distributed denial of services. So basically, this is it is more related to processes, okay, which affect business continuity. Okay, so if we look at here, all these issues important, okay, because it will affect the business continuity. Okay, let's say, for example, if there is a threat from outsiders, okay, and then those threats will cause the DDoS to your system. So no one can use your system, okay, due to this attack. Okay. Okay. So when they attack the system, okay, basically they focus more on data. Okay, they focus more on the system itself. They focus on the processes. So these are the three things that they focus when they want to have a threat. When they want to introduce a threat to a companies to a systems. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, actually the threats, the most common threats comes from the insiders. It comes from your internal staff. Okay. Sometimes our concern is more on outsiders. Okay, we want to keep our data secure from outsiders. Okay, we have to ensure that our data is secured by having a good firewall, for example, to cater the securities of the system. But actually, most of the attacks come from insiders. It comes from your own internal staff. Okay. Okay, so insider attacks are particularly dangerous for 3 reasons. Okay, sometimes basically insiders don't act maliciously most of the times. Yeah, because you are the staff. Okay, so we just act as a normal staff. Okay, we come to work. Okay, we do our daily tasks. Okay, so no one no one can have a bad feeling towards us, okay, because we are the staff, okay. So and then we don't act maliciously, okay, most of the times, okay. So that's why it is difficult to detect any harmful insider activities than it is to detect external attacks, because because let's say, for example, we have an access to a system. Okay, we can access to a student's database. Okay, let's say, for example, I can access to a student's database. Okay, but then I access the system, I access the database, and I get the data. I download the data. Okay, but actually I cannot download the data. I just can view or access the data. But when I access and I download the data and I send the data to someone else outside, but no one can have a bad feeling towards me because I have the access. Okay. Okay. Then the second one is insiders know weaknesses in an organization's cybersecurity. Okay. Sometimes when we let's say, for example, when we are working in universities. Okay, and then if there is any problems with the network for that for a certain durations, for example, we already know, okay, because we receive an email from the centers that manage the ITs or network and so on. Okay, so we will have a maintenance operations during this time. Okay, today from 2 to 4 p.m. for example. Okay, so the network connection during that time is quite worse. Okay, so we know, okay, because we get the message, okay, and then we can get or we can use the opportunities during that time to get an access to the system, for example. Okay. Okay, and then the third reason is insiders know the location and the nature of sensitive data they can abuse. Okay, we know, okay, where we put the servers, where is the server room. Okay, we know, okay, which location that the data is being stored. Okay, let's say we have a server. Okay, we know, okay, where is the server located? Okay, in which level, in which building. Okay, so this server contains or this server keep what kind of data. Okay, so we know some of this information. Okay, okay, so 3 insider threat sources. Negligent users, it can be criminal or malicious insiders, or also it can be attackers that stole users' credentials. Okay. Okay. The third one, I want to focus more a little bit about this because sometimes we willing to share our credentials to our friends, for example. Okay. Okay, so we ask our friend to help us, okay, to do certain tasks which required he or she to get your credentials to log into the system. Okay, so sometimes the credential is given based on your permissions, but sometimes the attackers stole another person's credentials. Okay, because sometimes we can do man in the middle. Okay, we can just look at, okay, what is your password? Okay, what is your username? So these are your attitude. These are attackers' attitude to store your credentials. Okay. Okay, so this diagram shows the percentage of data breaches that caused by insiders threats. Okay, so this is the most latest one, the most recent. Okay, the frequency of insider threats. Okay, 60% of percentage. Okay, 60% of data breaches caused by insider threats. Okay, so meaning that more than 50. Okay, and then 61%, the companies who experienced an insider attack in the past years in the 2021. 2020. Okay, so this statistic it is for 2021. Okay, so if we look at these statistics, it is clearly stated that insider threats is dangerous compared to outsiders. Okay. Okay, so these statistics, this report that we obtained from Ponemon Institute 2020 and 2022, it shows the rise in the total average cost of an insider incident. Okay, it is the cost that the companies should bear, okay, due to insider incidents. Okay, it is not from outsiders, but it's come from insiders. Okay, 11.45 million during 2019 and 15.38 million for 2021. So we can see the increasing amounts of the total average cost that we lost, okay, due to insider incidents. Okay. So how about Asians? Okay, how about the data breach cases in our Asian countries? Okay, so this is from Malaysia. Okay, so this is quite recent. All these 4 cases that I showed, that I presented today, it happens in 2022. Okay, so the first one is from my country, it's Malaysia. Data of 22.5 million Malaysian who born from 1940 to 2004 allegedly being sold for 10K USD. Okay, where did they get the data? They get the data from My Identity. So My Identity, it is a system or applications that we keep the data. It shows your identities, your identification data. Okay, so this is for Malaysia. Okay, it costs us about 10K USD. One of the most data breach cases. The second one is Indonesia. Okay, Bijoka, the online hacker trying to take down the Indonesian government. Okay, so it costs about beginning of September of massive data leak. Okay, some 1.3 million SIM card registration details were stolen and listed for sale on a dark web online marketplace. So we can see here it is about SIM card registrations details, but again inside this card registration details, SIM card registration details, we have your name, your matric, your identity numbers, okay, and then we have your all these kinds of details were stolen, from these SIM card registration details. Okay, so this is happened in September 2022. Okay, and then the next one is Singapore. Okay, Starbucks Singapore hit by data breach involving customers' names, emails, and mobile phone numbers. Okay, what kind of data? Their customers' data that they obtain from Starbucks rewards membership programs. Okay, so because of that, Singapore Starbucks, they advise their customers to change their password immediately. But even though they change, actually the hackers, the data is being breached already. The hackers already gets your data, already gets these kinds of data. Okay, and then the last one is in Thailand. Okay, Thai University presidents apologize for leak of personal information. Okay, so personal information, students' personal information are being leaked. Okay, I don't have much information about this. Okay, but it is involve students' information, students' personal information. So these are the 4 recent cases of data breach that occurred in Asian countries. Okay, if you go through, if you want to know more, okay, you can just Google. Okay, so there are lots of cases that happen about data breach. Okay, there are lots of cases. Okay, so next. Okay, so based on that cases, okay, what are the possible consequences of data breach cases? Okay, financial losses, of course. Okay, financial losses. Okay, ruin business reputations. Yeah, if we cannot guarantee our customers' data, okay, so might be our customers will change to another companies. Okay, regulatory fines. Yeah, maybe if we have a Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, I'm not sure whether Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken, Indonesia just establish a personal data protection. Okay, but in terms of the establishments, in terms of the enforcement, I'm not sure how far it was implemented. But in Malaysia, it is not so good because the awareness among us is still low. Okay, falling share prices, okay, disclosure of trade secrets, compromise of customers' data, and yeah, a loss of customers' trust. So these are the possible consequences of data breaches that we have to bear. Okay. Okay, so this chart shows the percentage growth in 2020 data breaches compared to 2019. Okay, so this shows the industries that involved in most of the cases. Okay, if we look at here, the most industries involved is food and beverages. Okay, so do you know what is the reason behind this? Because now we are having more food delivery systems, okay, whereby we have Grab Food, okay, we have McDonald's, okay, we have KFC, and all those kinds of F&B where we can purchase online, okay, we can put orders online, okay, and then whenever we want to order online, we have to give our personal data. Okay, so this compared to constructions, agricultures, and so on. So this is the most, and being the most widely used by people. Okay. Okay, so the next data shows types of data that compromise in 2021. Okay, so if we look at here, the most one is your name. Okay, followed by social security numbers. Okay, social security numbers, it is data that can be considered as your PII. Okay, personally identifiable information. Okay, Okay. Okay, so these are some of the data breach cases caused by insider threats. Okay, the first case is Marriott data leak due to a compromised third-party apps. Okay, so Marriott hotels, okay, the sources of the data, it was compromised of a third-party vendor. Okay, the consequences, almost 339 million hotel guests affected. Okay, so this is what we refer to this one. Okay, consequences, okay, compromise of customers' data, and they have been fined by 18.4 million, okay, to bear for this data leakage. Okay, how it could be prevented. Okay, they can implement a third-party vendor monitoring solutions. They can hire, okay, they can appoint a third-party vendor, okay, to provide a monitoring solutions for them. And then at the same time, they can implement a user and entity behavior analytics. Okay, so this is quite new. Entity behavior analytics, it comes or it arises when we are moving forward data analytics. Okay, whereby we do behavior analytics. Okay, so based on that, we can look at the trends, okay, of the users. Okay, who enter the system, okay, who access the system, and then what kind of actions that these users have done. Okay, so that we can see if there is any abnormal actions done by certain users. Okay, so these are the second case. Okay, second case, it is affected companies is Elliott Greenleaf. Okay, the sources of the data breaches, malicious actions for personal gains. Okay, consequences, massive data breach, okay, whereby it is involved client data, intellectual properties, and any other sensitive data. Yeah, the another consequences, it is where inoperability of their businesses. Okay, so how it could be prevented by doing email backups and implement an employee monitoring software. Okay, so the third case, the third case, it happens in South Georgia Medical Center. The source for the attack is malicious insider actions. Okay, consequences, client data leak. Okay, how it should be prevented by providing a privileged access management solutions. Okay, so access management, it is one of the top solutions that we can do or we can provide to cater or to solve the cybersecurity issues. Okay. Okay, the fourth cases is scamming of Twitter users by phishing employees. Okay, so there are lots of attacks. There are lots of threats. If we want to discuss, we cannot discuss in one day. Phishing, we have farming, we have social engineering, and so on. But today we only focus on data breaches because I think data breaches, it is quite near to us. Okay, because everyone, we have a data. We want to keep our data secure. Okay, so these are the fourth case. Okay, so based on all those cases related to data breach, okay, what should we do? Okay, so what should we do? Okay, so this is where we have to introduce an enterprise cybersecurity program. Okay, we have to implement an enterprise cybersecurity programs. A company, a universities, and organizations, governments, and so on, we must have an enterprise cybersecurity programs. Okay, so these cybersecurity programs is started with identify, detect, respond, protect, and recover. Okay, so we start with identify, which is we have to evaluate our assets. Okay, what asset that we want to keep secure? Your students' data. We want to keep our intellectual properties secure. Okay, then we do have a vulnerability assessment for all the assets. Okay, and we also need to identify if there is any governance risk and compliance that we have to fulfill. If there is any Data Protections Act that we have to follow. Okay, then after we identify, we can do a detection. Okay, this detection, it must have it should be continuous monitoring. Okay, by doing a detect, okay, by doing these detections, okay, we can also identify anomaly if there is any anomalies occurred. Okay, and then at the same time, we have to provide user and application awareness. Okay, user and application awareness, it is important because that's the reason why that's one of the reasons, okay, why the data breach cases are increasing, because we have lack of awareness towards the data security. Okay. Okay, response. Okay, response. We can provide an incident response. Okay, we can perform a malware analysis. Okay, malware, it is for malicious software analysis. Okay, malware it is stand for malicious software. And then we also need to do forensic remediation. Okay, so to protect, what should we do when we want to protect our system or when we want to protect our data? Okay, as I mentioned earlier, threat prevention. Okay, we have to prevent any threats from occur. Okay, or it can be done by using access controls. Okay, we can provide an control towards the access. Okay, who can access to the system? Okay, if you are authenticate to access the system, but what kind of functions that you can perform? Okay, so so that's for authorizations. Okay, access system, it is consists of authentication and authorization. Okay, you authenticate to access the system, but then for what functions that you are authorized to do. Okay. Okay, then protections also it covers for data security. Okay. Okay, then recovery, it falls under continuity of operations. We have to make sure that we able to the business operation should be able to proceed. Okay, disaster recoveries. Okay, what is our plan if there is any okay, do we have any disaster management and recovery plan? Okay, and then how about threat mitigation? So these are the things that we have to cover for recover. Okay, so for any enterprise cybersecurity program, these are the things that we have to follow: identify, detect, response, protect, and recover. Okay. Okay. So based on this, okay, you have learned what are the steps that we need to do in order to introduce enterprise cybersecurity programs. Okay, but then based on this, okay, what are the approaches that we can use? Okay, the first thing is it should consist of identity. Okay, it is for identity management. Okay, and then we have to provide an access. Okay, to provide an access based on identity. Okay, and then okay, if once you are given the access, okay, we have to ensure the data protections. Okay, identity, it is when we want to secure the mobile and cloud connected enterprise. Okay, what can we do for identity management? okay, by providing or by establishing user management and provisioning, okay, by providing an access governance, okay, we can, for this identity management, okay, we can provide a list of access governance. Okay, for example, in a universities, okay, we example that we can have is, okay, a lecturers, okay, can access students' data, okay, but we cannot update the students' data. Okay. And admin staff, okay, they can view and update students' profile, okay, but admin cannot update students' marks, grades, and so on. Okay, so okay, and then the governance, it is more on how we want to manage the access, okay, towards the system, okay, towards the data. Okay, and then, okay, for access, the purpose of this is to build a sustainable compliance programs. Okay, we want to ensure that it is sustained, okay, because we want to keep the system secure, or we want to protect the system from hackers, from threats. Okay, so we want to sustain the system. Okay, sustaining the system, it can be done by establishing an access. Okay, establishing an access can be done, as I mentioned earlier, by providing or by introducing authentication. Okay, a simple authentication, sometimes it is not enough. Okay, sometimes we need to have an advanced authentication. Okay, for example, for military systems, okay, instead of to have a basic credentials or basic authentication such as username and password, okay, so we cannot use that for military authentications. Maybe instead of using username and password, we have to use face recognition, for example, or we have to use biometric recognition, for example. So that's what we refer to advanced authentication. Okay, username and password, it is considered as access authentication, but it is just a basic authentication. Okay, okay, then we can perform fraud preventions. Okay, and then the third one is secure single sign-on and access management. Okay, so this is quite similar, quite interconnected with privilege identity management. Okay, so now, okay, after we confirm the identity, okay, then those person able to access the system. Okay, but then, okay, we state, okay, so that a person who authenticated to access the system now considered as an insider, okay, because they can access the system, so it is not outsiders anymore, so it is referred to insiders. Okay, the purpose of this, we have to reduce any risk from insider threats and attacks. Okay, so what should we do is we have to confirm, or we have to ensure the data protection. We have to protect the data even though it comes from insiders users. Okay, so what should we do? Okay, we have to, we can do discovery, okay, we can do data classifications, and we can do information controls. Okay, for data classifications, for example, okay, the basic data classifications, we have 3 layers. Okay, we have top, we have moderate, and we have open data. So we classify the data, so it comes in a hierarchy. And basically we have 3 levels, okay, 3 layers. Okay, but for a certain domain, for example, military, government agencies, Okay, instead of we have 3 layers, we have 4 layers. Okay, so the top one is considered as top secret. Okay, top secret followed by secret, okay, followed by low, and followed by open data. Okay, so different types of agencies or different types of organizations, they might have a different types of data classifications. Okay, so different types of data classifications require a different types of advanced different types of authentications. Okay, so it is depends on types of the data that we want to protect. Okay. Okay, so these are the 4 steps. Okay, the 4 steps. How can we initiate enterprise cybersecurity programs? I think we have another 20 minutes, right? Okay, we should finish by 1:30, but we have a quick Q&A sessions after this, right?
Yes, Doctor.
Easy. Okay,
20
I
minutes.
go these slides, these 5 steps quite fast because this is just to how should we do. Okay, so basically the steps given are quite general. It is depends on the organization itself. Okay. Okay.
Yes, okay, Doctor.
Okay, so the first step is we have to define our boundaries. Okay, your organization's boundaries. Okay, what we want to keep secure. Okay, so what are the things that we want to keep secure? Okay, what kinds of data that we want to safeguard? Okay, so we must have a boundaries in place to safeguard information. Okay, so we have to establish for each type of transferable data from outsiders to point of transfer. So we have to set a boundary. So that's the first step. We have to define the boundaries. Okay. The second is we have to define software environments. Okay. So for this one, we have to define the purpose and policies regarding each type of software that we have within our systems. Okay, let's say we have a systems, a student registration system. Okay, we have to define for this system how far that we need to keep it secure. Okay, it contains students' data, so of course we have to keep more secure. Okay, compared to the data that we posted via our portals, via our university portals. Okay. Okay, then the third one is harden your network assets. Okay, so this is when any hardware, device, or software programs that physically or remotely connects to our system should be sealed. Okay, we have to seal. Okay, we have to confirm the securities from possible interference, data leaks, or unauthorized access. We have to ensure the securities. Okay, we have to seal. Okay, because it is crucial to make your network as secure as possible. Because now, as I mentioned earlier, we are moving forward cloud-based system. Okay, we are moving forward smart-based system, whereby we depends on the network to transmit the data from one place to another place. So it is important. Okay, it is crucial to ensure that our network is stable and secure as much as possible. Okay. Okay, then we have to assess vulnerabilities and implement a remediation plan. Okay. We must have a proper plan. If this attack occurred, okay, what should we do? Okay, if this threat occurred, what should we do? So what is our plan? We must have a contingency plan. Okay, we cannot think what should we do after the attack was done by hackers. For example, we must prepare a remediation plan earlier. Okay, we must be ready. Okay, and it should be enforced immediately after any attack or after any threat occurred. Okay. Okay, and then the last one is the fifth step is to review if there is to review administrative access privilege across the enterprise. We have to review, okay, because the reviewing process will sometimes give you another information, okay, who are trying to access what kind of information. Okay, so it is important to seal off administrative access to all but the most vital functions of authorized personnel. So we have to keep this. Okay, we always have to review because sometimes the employees they are leaving to another companies. But if we don't do this kind of review, even though the person is not with your company anymore, but they still can get access to your system. So that's the reason why we have to review this access privilege. Okay. Okay. So as a conclusion, cybersecurity is crucial needed today, especially when we are moving forward smart-based systems. Okay. You have learned the importance of CIA triad in enterprise systems, especially when it comes to smart enterprise systems. Okay, we have go through some cases of data breaches. Okay, it is a serious attention that we need to think about. Okay, especially when it is involved most of personal data. And then how can we initiate a cybersecurity program to support the cybersecurity requirements needed in any organizations or in any business, in everywhere. Okay, so we know how to initiate cybersecurity programs. Okay, so let's begin. Okay, I hope that you have an overview. How does cybersecurity in enterprise looks like? Why is it important? Okay, and then what should we do so that we can ensure the security of our enterprise systems? Okay. Okay, a quote here that I found cybersecurity is a shared responsibilities, and it boils down to this: in cybersecurity, the more systems we secure, the more secure we all are. Okay, so these are the things that the more secure systems, the more secure we are, the more hackers try to access or try to hack the systems. Okay, basically, honestly, to have a good responsibility towards cybersecurity, the main thing that we must have is awareness. Okay, we must have our own awareness. Okay, sharing your data. Okay, disclose your data. We must have that kind of awareness. Okay, we cannot simply share our data because once you share your data, meaning that you disclose your data to everyone. Okay, so I think that's all from me. Okay, thank you. Any questions?
Yes, thank you, Doctor, for the explanation of the material. Now, okay, for all the participants, you may ask a question to our speaker, Dr. Norjihan. Maybe question.
Can I stop my sharing first?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Okay.
Maybe for all raise hand or can send it to chat message first. Is there anyone want to ask? Yes. For Hansen Dava, you can open your mic.
Thank you so much for the chances. Good afternoon, Dr. Norjihan, and also Ibu Ira dan juga Pak Hendra. In these occasions, Let me introduce myself first. My name is Hansen Dava Pramudya Kusuma as an undergraduate information system students in University of Airlangga. And before I ask my questions, I want to say that the presentation is super good and it is super insightful for me as a new student in information system. The thing that I wanted to ask is when we talk about cyber security system in the company, let's say we have a company and there's so much cases of data breaches in company. Let's say we have money to improve the security. Where should we prioritize? Is it the we should increase the quality of hardware or software or the systems, or we should hire the professional cybersecurity to make it better? So that's what I wanted to ask. Thank you for the attention.
Okay. If you have monies, okay, so the first thing that I would like to advise, if we have to provide an awareness among your staff first. We have to provide a training, a program. Okay, so we have to inform our employees. Okay, so the importance of cybersecurity is, okay, the reason why do we need to keep our data secure. So then once our employees really understand the reason and so on, but the main thing is we have to make them understand regarding the cybersecurity first, because if we implement a good infrastructure, if we have a good software, if we have a good vendor to implement to our companies, but if your employees don't understand about the importance of the cybersecurity, the consequences if we don't have a good cybersecurity, then it is no use. Okay, because as I mentioned earlier, the most cases of data breach occurred, it is due to insiders itself. Okay.
Thank you for the answer. It is very insightful.
Okay. Thank you for the question, Hansen. Okay. Maybe we can next to the second question for all the participants who want to ask. Maybe can directly raise hand. Or you can send it to the message first, and I will read the question for all the participants who want to ask. Or maybe if there is no one to ask, maybe I want to ask a question, Doctor. Related to the slide when our system, let's say our system in the companies is hacked by hackers, how can we detect the cyber attacks and respond it to them? And is it possible that we can detect whether our data has been hacked so that we can deal with it immediately?
Okay. So basically, whenever we access a system, okay, there is an audit log. Okay, so this audit log will keep all this kind of information. Okay, who access the system? Okay, what kind of actions that we have done? Okay, so basically, all the records that we have in audit log, okay, will be monitored by the system administrations, and then we will know. Okay, basically we should know. Okay, who actually access the system. Okay, what kind of actions that we have, that the users have done. Okay, so basically we able to know, but sometimes or most of the times it is already too late because the data is being hacked already.
Okay. Thank you for all the answer, Doctor. It's all clear. And then we can next to the third question from Brilliant Febriani in the column chat. Excuse me, madam. I want to ask about how to maintain and protect data from virus attack that have damaged the computer system.
Okay. in cybersecurity, we have several types of attacks and threats. Okay, threats and attack itself, it is actually these two comes from the vulnerabilities of the systems. Okay, so how can we do to maintain and protect data from virus attacks? I think for these answers, for these questions, basically, there are certain viruses that was introduced just to hack your data, but then the hacker usually will provide you the real data or the correct data. Okay, once you pay to them, it is ransomware if I'm not mistaken. So it is one types of virus where the system hack your data. Okay, due to virus. Okay, then but if you want the real data, the correct data, we have to pay them. Then they will give you correct data. Okay.
Okay, is it clear, Brilian Febriani? Okay, it is clear, Doctor. And then there is a next question from Visa Asmara. Excuse me, Doctor, I want to ask what you mentioned before that 60% data breaches is done by insiders. So how can we minimize it, or maybe is there any prevention way to reduce data breaches if the threats come from the enterprises insiders?
Okay, as I mentioned to the first question just now, okay, the first thing that we have to do is we have to provide an awareness program towards our employees or towards our own staff. Okay, and then instead of that, we also need to establish a policies. Okay, policies regarding to data protections. Okay, so in that policy, we will spell out what are the consequences if these things happens in our companies. Okay, let's say and then in that policy also it consists of the guidelines. Okay, how should the information will be used by their employees. Okay, and if there is any possibilities of data breaches done by insiders, so these are the actions taken by them towards their staff. So I think that's one of the approaches that we can use or we cannot guarantee that we cannot to avoid at all, but we can minimize the percentage of data breach by the insider itself. Because in Malaysia, we have a Data Protection Act, but in terms of the establishment, it is not so good because the establishment towards who don't for those who didn't follow the guidelines is not clear. So that's why that's one of the reason why there are still lots of cases.
Yes, is it clear, Visa Asmara? Okay, thank you, Doctor, for all the answer. Maybe we can enough for the Q&A session. Thank you for Dr. Norjihan. I think I can finish the session. Thank you for all of the participants who asked some question. Maybe in the next session, I will deliver the certificate for symbolist to Dr. Norjihan, and our thanks to Doctor for willing to be speakers. The following symbolic handover of the certificate, maybe the operator can help to documentation first. Okay. In 3, 2, 1. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, is it clear? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Doctor, for the speakers and the interesting material about cybersecurity management in enterprise system. Now we are in the end of the class. And for all the participants, remember after the class there will be a presence and feedback form that provided by the committee, and all of the participants must fill the form to get the e-certificate. But before that, we will do a documentation session first. For all the participants can turn on the camera, and for the committee to take a documentation, maybe you can take over to take a photo session together. I will wait about 1 minute to all of the participants who can turn on the camera. We just have one slide, maybe for all the participants of this session can turn on the camera first. Okay, I will start to take a photo in first slide 3, 2, 1. In second slide in 3, 2, 1. In the third slide 3, 2, 1. Fourth slide 3, 2, 1. And the last slide 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you for all the participants in this class, and thank you so much for Dr. Norjihan for the speakers. And before we end this class, all the participants must fill the form that provided in the comment section. Maybe I think it's the end of the class. Thank you for all the participants who joining Quest Lecture 2022. Special thank you for our speakers and that have given of the class today. Thank you and see you in the next guest lecture 2022. Thank
Thank
you.
you. If you have anything, you can email me. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much, Dr. Norjihan. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Assalamualaikum. Can I
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
okay? Can I end the session now?
Yes, Doctor.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, bye.
Thank you, Doctor.
Recording stop.